Hello there. So, Ghostbusters. It is so nice to go back and see that this is the original Ghostbusters. It's nice to see, comedy done right. And what's funny is going back, I was like, this is supposed to be a funny movie, right? This is supposed to be like a funny movie. It is, but it isn't, because of the topic it's dealing with, because of some of the characters, because Bill Murray is such a creep in this film. Like, that's the thing. They have the bookworm that is being crushed on by the whatever the person is at the front desk. I already forgot what that's called. But it's just like they have the bookworm, they have the over-eager scientist, and then you have the one that's basically a car salesman, which is Bill Murray. And he's the funnest character, mainly because he's someone you absolutely despise to like. But most people have someone like that, a friend like that. Most people know someone like that, and they're like, you despise them, but at the same time, you like them because, well, they are who they are. You know who they are. They can't change. They're weird types of beings. But it's so rare to go back and watch movies and be like, you know what? It's so amazing how people were written, because he's a creep. He's a creep. He doesn't seem to be aware that he's a creep, but Sigourney Weaver immediately knows he's a creep. It was funny, as soon as she popped up on screen, I was like, oh, I need to see Alien. But it was like, she knows he's a creep. She makes fun of him, teases him, because she's an adult. She's a mature woman. She's a smart woman. And then that kind of mentality, what did it do? It made this immature scientist realize he's never going to end up with a mature woman if he continues doing what he does. So he doesn't change his personality. He just leans it all into her, which I found kind of endearing, because there's as in the beginning, when you get introduced to Bill Murray, absolutely despise him as a character, absolutely despise him. But as he's constantly pursuing Sigourney Weaver, you're like, oh, okay, I can see it, because he's no longer paying attention to all these other women around him, all these other bimbos around him. He goes to the woman who he's found, and he's like, yeah, she's attractive. And it's just comedic, because Bill Murray's like, are you the key master? It's just like all that little stuff. All the little stuff in the series is absolutely funny. Series. All that little stuff in the show. Oh my gosh. In the movie is absolutely funny. The fact that it's the marshmallow puff, that's the giant creation that they need to fight, which is funny, because I didn't notice before that I forgot his name. The Keymaster, when he basically says that Azul had basically destroyed civilizations over and over and over again. This wasn't his first one. He has done it multiple times, and he will continue to do it. And it was like, it was destroyed by the Gorglex in this point in time. In this point in time, it was destroyed by the Venizar. In this point in time, it was destroyed by the... And then it's funny, because you think about it, it's like, you think of all that, and the next time the world's going to be destroyed, it's going to be the marshmallow puff. Of course, Azul did not succeed, or Gamal did not succeed, but it was funny. All the little instances, the whole thing that that skyscraper was built by worshippers of the occult, and built it with a way to. It's just so interesting how, if it had destroyed the world thousands of years ago, is there still a cult or a record of it when humanity basically sprung out from the ash without... Yeah, I found it interesting. It's like, oh, okay, it adds to the story. It just makes it more interesting. I'm okay with it, because going through it back, it's just like, all right. And I didn't realize that, I forgot what his name is, but the black dude just shows up near the end of the film, and I'm like, yeah, he really isn't that interesting of character. Because I remember seeing in Stranger Things where they were trying to get him to be the Black Ghostbusters, and he was all, no, he does nothing. He's not even a scientist. And that's true. He even tries selling them out once they're arrested. He's like, for a small portion, it's like, I want to get my own lawyer. Yeah, but the fact that, oh my gosh, the reason it was done was because a government official basically got a warrant and shut it down without knowing anything that's going on. Technically, the government official would be held liable for that, because he was warned about it. Even the person he brought in felt unsafe about it, that's when you bring in technicians to figure out what's going on. And then you can shut it off. But yeah, they shut it off and then everything gets released. But yeah, it's fun to go through a movie that's actually well thought out, well written. The characters are well liked. Everyone basically has their own story beats, and it's entertaining to go through. And for me, it was like constantly wondering, how did these three all become friends? How did they all get to know each other? Because they don't seem like the personalities that would get along. Of course, Bill Murray seems like the personality that he doesn't mind, because he's like Sigourney Weaver said, he's the car salesman. He's the game show host. He's the game show host. He's used to getting along with weird people. He's okay with it. But it's like these other people, one's all interested in the occult, and the other one's creating, technologies for that stuff. But we didn't need a backstory for any of that. It's nice and refreshing to realize to go back and rewatch things and be like, yeah, you don't need that kind of stuff. As long as you show people are friends, you don't need to show why they're friends. You don't need to show why certain things are done as long as they're done. I like that mentality that was there in the 80s, somewhat early 90s, and in the 70s for sure. Where as long as you gave the characters enough time to look like they belonged with each other, the audience is okay. Who can look at it we on every day can go down the street and see groups of people talking. We don't ask ourselves how the heck they got to know each other. Maybe some people do. How the heck they got to know each other? No, we just accept the fact that they're getting along, that they're talking. And showing that in a film just makes us trigger that mindset where it's like, oh, okay. But with how movies are made now, it's like, oh, how did those guys become friends? That seems a little shady. I mean, it's like triggers the mindset to be, because I know I've caught myself like, that seems interesting. But sometimes it'd be interesting to do a story like that to how people became friends. Sure. But having to try and explain that, it was like why they get along, it isn't always necessary, because sometimes people who are completely different get along just fine. They kind of balance each other out. But yeah, it was fun to go back to this movie and be like, yep, it's good to watch characters be well written. It's good to have a strong female lead, which is basically being pursued by the creepy male lead. The other two male leads don't have an interest one way or the other, and the female crap, what's she called? She's not a secretary. She works the desk, whatever. I guess secretary. It has basically a crush on Egon, and that's absolutely hilarious. I enjoyed that. It was just like, so she's basically the counterpart to Bill Murray. Bill Murray's the creepy dude. She'd be the creepy woman, but just has interest in one person. Just completely one person. But yeah, thank you all for watching. I definitely, it's fun to go back. If you ever have a chance, just go back and rewatch classic movies. There's something about it. They're more wholehearted. They're more grounded. Characters seem to be not just relatable, but also aggravating, because it's sometimes you just don't like them. You don't like them, but you can't help but be like, oh, okay, I accept them. I didn't like Bill Murray's character, but it's just like, I accept him. I could be friends with someone like that. I'd have no problem with being friends with someone like that. I wouldn't encourage any of his actions, but I could be friends with him. Thank you all for watching. Talk to you next time. Toodles.